Hi, good night, everybody. I just come on here to answer some of the questions that, well, it don't make sense I make a video to answer. So, I guess if anybody have any questions, they could ask, so I can get it out of the way. Hey, nice to meet you. Good night. Hello. Okay, well, I guess I'll just start to ramble then. One of the persons had asked me how my family ended up dealing with my mental disorder. No, that came in stages, and what they did when it started to get out of control, they decided it have like a old house behind me right there. They decided that they would put me inside that house so that I'll be able to have my own privacy and do my own thing. And basically I was living out of there for a while. So if I was depressed and I needed to sleep for 4 days or I wanted to buy KFC and binge eat, or I wanted to lime with some friends and try and figure everything that was going on, I was right inside that structure right there. It's a wooden structure, so I was inside there. The house on the other side. But yeah, that's what my family did. They kind of just, they didn't give up on me and they didn't allow me to go on the streets to live. They kind of just put me in there like a little jail. When episode would get out of control, or I would come out in public and chastise somebody, or when I wouldn't eat for too long, or when they wouldn't see me for too long, they would actually call St. Anne's Hospital. So if I wasn't in there, I was in St. Anne's. If I wasn't in there or in St. Anne's, I was somewhere trying to just release my mind. But yeah, that is how it was dealt with. At that point in time, I just want to say that, like, at that point in time, music was something that I used to use a lot to try and find someone to relate to. Because when you're completely alone and all you have is like a device or something like that, music, or well, some people like to watch videos and that type of stuff. But you were saying you are off your meds. Yes, I am off my meds. I have been off medication for 3 months, and this is the longest that I've been off medication and out of the hospital. It used to take about a month for me to get an episode. I would say more than a month, but it would take about a month for my family to call the hospital and send me in the hospital. Hello, blessed, good evening. I forget what I was talking about before. Alright, music. Music used to keep my company. Just read your stories today, curious and go back to a job. No. Hi, Lori. Well, no, I haven't gotten a job yet. I spent the last year and 3 months recovering, and I stay quiet for a year. I just put out some music and like some simple stuff, but I stay quiet for a year. And for the last 3 months, I've been actively looking for a normal 9 to 5 that I could just, pay my bills, get groceries, that kind of stuff, take care of myself, take care of my child. And yeah, I have qualifications. I have my passes. I did sixth form. I have business management and information technology qualifications. So I could do a job. I'm able to do a job. And now that I'm off the medication, one, I won't have to be taking time off from a job to go and get medication every month. And two, I wouldn't be sleeping whole day, because the medication itself does knock you out and have you sleeping whole day. That's how they regulate your brain. A mental breakdown. Well, that's what they call it. When I first went into the hospital, they said it was a mental breakdown, because I didn't tell them the whole story. They thought it was because of all the stress of my brand new job and now moving out of home, and it all happened at the perfect time for it to look like it was a mental breakdown. Right. So, what is my replacement for medication? Okay, so what I started to do was follow certain people online and document things that they would say, doctors and stuff, document things that they would say, so that I would be able to heal myself. I changed my diet. I started to exercise daily. Well, right now I wanna fast, but that's what I did 3 months ago. I started to diet, exercise, and I realized like when you release them endorphins every day, you just tend not to have any like anxiety or shakes or anything like that. I haven't noticed anything like that since I've been off the medication. Children named Sparta. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any other questions, but how did your family deal with the person who did it to you? Okay. About that person who did this to me, like I told you all when I ended this story, I continued to go out with them. I continued to meet them. We continued to have intercourse for heavy for like about a year after the incident. So that was like my boo thing for a whole year after the incident. And then like he actually started to pull away from me and more want to do things in private after I cut my hair and I started to deteriorate. He continued seeing me, but it used to be more in private. And then I met somebody, and that person, when I tell them what was going on with me, because they meet me at a point in time when I was completely breaking down, talking back to the voices. I had reached the end of my rope basically, and I told them, well, what started it, what was the beginning, and he was like, I hate that person. I can't believe he would do something like this to you. And I was like, hate, like, what do you mean you hate him? He's like, yeah, he destroyed your life. And then I just had this moment of like, shit, he really destroyed my life. And I was with him for a while after. But, you know, I didn't argue with him. I didn't make a bacchanal with him. My family members didn't either. My friends didn't either. And some of my friends were his friends. They just stopped talking to him. And yeah, that was that. Why I didn't see that myself? I was going through psychosis. I did a lot of things that I would never do. I would never normally do, like under my own level-headed self. I would never normally do those things. Because that same friend, he come around me to jam before he drugged me, but I refused him. And I was like, no, dog, no, he's not my type. So I was level-headed enough before this happened, and then as soon as it happened, all the choices that I started to make, it was out of character. I was living like in La La Land, where everything and everybody was happy and everything was happening through the grace of God, and God was supplying all my needs. Oh, who getting ignored? I got ignored. Who's that? Okay. Yeah, that's why I didn't see it for myself, because I was in psychosis and I wasn't thinking straight, I wasn't acting straight. If you do a little bit of research, you'll find out that when somebody is mentally ill, they're not making the choices that they would make if they were in their right mind. So that's why even though they might act violent or they might act a little rapey, or they might act some other ways, that a lot of ways, it have a lot of different ways they will act that is not normal for them. And you have to understand that there's something in their brain and they're acting out something like a child role playing. So like if a child see their parents rubbing up together, the child will turn around and rub up their dollies And if I, as somebody going through mental illness, tonight I see two people fighting over $10. Tomorrow I might feel like it's my $10 and I will start a quarrel over $10, and nobody would know that it's not even my $10. It's two people from down the road $10 that I quarreling about. I'm trying to see the comment. My daughter now tell me somebody gets ignored and can you relapse? Can you relapse? I love how you are educating people about trauma. Okay, if I could relapse. That's not what it's called a relapse. Relapse is like when you stop taking a certain substance and then you start back to take the substance after you said you wasn't going to take the substance. That's a relapse. But I could have episodes. I was told that this is a lifelong thing, and I kind of refuse to believe it. So I'm living my life trying to figure out if I could really live without having a next episode. If any day I start to hear voices or I start to feel tingling in my skin or something weird about me, I will go to the clinic and I will get a Clopixel injection. It lasts for a month, and it is put your brain on sleep mode so that those little things that are affecting you, like little stress factors or little triggers that could possibly affect you, they wouldn't be able to affect you because your brain basically off. So yeah, that's what I'll do if I ever feel that way again. Be vibes in this. Well, I was thinking not only would I ask more questions, but the fact that my family had me in this house in the back here, and that's how they dealt with it. That's one thing I wanted to say. Half of the people that was here wasn't here when I first said it, but yeah, they kind of isolated me. And if that's something all you want to try for all your relatives and all you're able to try it, leave them alone for a while. Leave them alone for a while. Get them whatever they need, whether it be, thing to eat. I don't want to encourage things to drink because alcohol used to send me into like a fury. I used to get upset, like real upset for no reason, and that's not a angry person. If I believe in God, I believe everybody and everything on earth is God together, and it's less than itself if anything is missing. That's what I believe. It might sound dumb to you. It's not going to sound dumb to a Hindu. Might sound dumb to a lot of people, but yeah, that's what I believe. Anyway, yes, I have a child. She turned 12 today. I have a 12-year-old. She turned 12 today. 12. Yeah, like I was saying, y'all could try to isolate your family member and just allow them to have space if your house or your yard or wherever it is allows for that. My son had something. Yeah, he'll believe that you're his enemy. I thought my mother walked over on me. I thought that's why it was going on with me. I went up to my mother and I was like, you walk over on me? That's why I going through what I going through right now. My mother didn't walk over on me. My grandmother didn't walk over on me. But I was raised in a society where we believe in Obia. And I had things to resolve with my mother. I had unresolved trauma with my mother. So I was angry with my mother and I did have a problem with my mother. But it didn't come out like that. It didn't come out like, Mommy, let's sit down and talk about what's going on between us. It come out like, Mommy, you're walking over on me. Because that's all I could think to see. We eventually deal with our issues. I eventually got less and less angry when I realized, like, okay, this is a real frustrating thing to be in on both sides. And, yeah. So just hang in there. once you know you're not his enemy, just hang in there. He will eventually come around as long as he's willing to come around, or he finds something that inspires him to come around to break the illusion that he's having. I'll tell all you why my illusion was broken, and I'll still make a video and say it. A friend of mine shout at my voices. I was hearing them and I was telling him, this is what they're saying, and your voice saying this, and this one voice saying that, and then he just scream at them, leave her alone, right in my ears. I was like, all the voices in my head was like, Wamti. They was like, what that? Like, oh. And they went quiet. Now I'm not saying that stopped the voices, but it gave me like a 2-second pause to be like, whoa, I have a problem, because this is a normal functioning human being. I know he's normal and functioning because he didn't go through this for the last 3 years, and he's screaming into the air at nothing. For me, after that, I was like, nah, I have to stick to something. I have to figure something out. So yeah, that's what happened there. Y'all ain't asking questions. It hard to believe that people could actually be saying things that they don't mean. But I just want to say that, like, I'm living testament. You'll say things you don't mean, and you'll miss things that important. And how old are you? I am 32 years of age. I was born in 1990, right after the coup. I think you're not seeing me. I don't think I see any comments either. Shay, you could give me a little visual on what's going on with these comments here, because people saying I'm not seeing them. Do you think drink triggered the episode? Oh, whoa, I'm not seeing these comments at all.
What's this buddy for?
Alright, yes, I'm off meds. Just read your story today. Thanks for sharing. So what have you? Like I said a while ago, my replacement, heavy on chana, heavy on water, heavy on coconut water, heavy on exercising. Not antibiotics, probiotics and magnesium. I said I was 32. This person said they got ignored by, and see the question that they asked, if my self-confidence is back up. Well, my self-confidence is directly related. Unfortunately, I haven't healed from this yet. My self-confidence is directly related to the things that I am able to produce, the things that I am able to put into the world. And I haven't been able to put anything that I am proud of into the world for a very long time. So my self-confidence kind of low, coming from doing shows like The Human Experience and The Reality Check and those types of stuff, where I used to put on like new people who coming into the industry, music, art, sports. That's where my self-confidence used to come from. So honestly, my confidence is low, and I'm not too sure how to bring it back up, but I'm not going to give up on myself. And another thing, you're very confident when you're in psychosis. You think that you have right to say and do anything and everything. You're brave. I went in some people's DMs and messaged them. They only answer me back because I was ever in the industry. But if I was never in the industry and I went in some of these people's DMs and say some of the outlandish things that I was saying, no. And I had the confidence, I had the balls to do that. I messaged Oprah and asked if she could. You don't smoke? Because I really admire and second is a voice note I live in. I really admire and second. It was a lot. What did he drug you with? It was Stacy. Stacy. I can't say what it is. My child tell him I cringe because I talking like this, but yeah. I can't say what it is. Well, I don't want to get banned, so I don't want to promote any drugs. It was actual voices I was hearing. So, like I was telling my neighbor, I used to hear the voices of celebrities. And remember, you're hearing these people through videos, you're hearing them over the news, so you know what the voice sounds like. I'm sure you could recognize certain celebrities' voice if they play it for you. I used to hear voices of my family members. I used to hear voices of my neighbors. And if I meet somebody new, all of a sudden, their voice will register in my mind and I would hear them saying things to me and like introducing themselves to me. So it was audible voices. Sometimes it would sound like it coming from the left or the right. I might even turn my head and talk. Like if I'm in a conversation with one of these voices, I'll turn my head and talk like if they're actually over there because the voice coming from this range or whatever range or behind me, or some voices used to sound far, far away and some used to sound right up in my ears. So sometimes I would get woken up and it would be like, get up! And it would be right in my ears. And I'd be like, the fuck? Yeah. If I just drink, alright, at whatever point in my life, I think I was 17 when I decided, because I get drunk when I was around 17. I was about 17 when I decided I wasn't going to drink again, heavy. And I used to probably have like a beer or two, or if I like brass and steel, I used to put punch in the beer. Or like simple drinks like that, but I would sip one thing whole night and just smoke, like real smoke. So I smoke less now because my problem was smoking. If like you're asking on a scale of what was my problem, my daughter say I lie, so I guess I just still smoke as much because she knows. Anyway, yeah, no. Is the answer to that. I don't drink. Yes, all of this start happening after the day that I had intercourse with my friend who I thought I would never have intercourse with before. Yeah, all of that started to happen after that day. How does my child deal with everything? I go and give her the opportunity to tell you all one day in a video. So I don't want to say anything about that because I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't know if it's my business yet, and I don't know if it's all your business yet. So that's why I say I'll give her the opportunity to decide if she wants to say. To the person who talking about his son in the chat and saying that, well, he hardly sleeps and you're building somewhere for him and that type of stuff. Is he on medication? Has he seen any doctors? Because I'm not knocking modern medicine at all. I am not Dr. Sebi. I am not any of those Bushmen. I'm not Trevor Says. This is Trinidad. I am not Trevor Says. I don't think that I could cure my illness without the use of intravenous medicine, medication that people who studied, work hard, and create, right? So it served its purpose. It was poison, so I didn't stay on it, but it served its purpose, right? So that's why I'm asking you if your son ever take any kind of medication or if he's doing any kind of counseling. Somebody say, oh, Bishop's girl, oh. No, I am no longer on medication. What about family members that do not believe in mental illness? Well, that's a serious one right there. Because when people don't believe you, you're telling them the most bizarre shit in the world. And they don't believe what you're saying is the scariest thing in the world. I experienced that very same thing where I was talking about demons and angels and that type of vibes. And people were just watching me like, is it that you're looking for attention or what's going on here? You know, and I used to just be like, no, I'm telling you that what is going on in my mind. And I'm telling you that I believe in what's going on in my mind. I'm just telling you what's going on in my mind. So yeah. No, I am not going to be on medication for the rest of my life. Yes, the drink is what started it all. And it was weird too. The drink was open. I know. Alright. Let me tell you from a common sense point of view now. I didn't have the same level of common sense then. But the drink was open. His friend kissed me to make sure that I was actually drugged. Because when he touched me, I didn't respond to it. And him, knowing that I turned him down once already, came right into my house and proceeded to lay the wood like if he was accustomed doing that. So he knew what he was doing. You say a lot of things like him and you look like him too. Alright, all them people who always saying going through the same thing, you could message me. I've been answering messages since I post my very first video. So message me and like, I'm not keeping all it to myself or trying to fix or shrink people myself because I only do psychology in sixth form. What I know about psychology is you're not supposed to tell people you do psychology. Okay? That's what I know about psychology. I didn't reach to the point that they liberate you and tell you, now you can go forth and say that you are a psychologist. I was in the half-ass stage. So, yeah. All those profiles, you all could message me. I will give all them my phone number, or they could WhatsApp me. And especially if you're in Trinidad. And we could meet at a clinic or them kind of vibes, you know, that'll be real cool. I want to start to do things within my community that will make me feel good and that will make other people feel good. So that's why I want to interact with people that are going through the same thing that I went through. So yeah, you all could just message me. You'd rather tell me to go on their profile and look for them because I would never be able to remember this. Good night, everybody who's saying good night. And thank you for all your prayers. I respect, for the people that ask me if I believe in God, I respect all religions. And I also respect that religion is in charge of the word God. Because that do exist in society outside of religion. Right? Get away. That exists outside of like religion, right? I do believe in God. I just have a different view of what God is. I believe that it have good and evil, but I also believe that people are the great, what is call it, the grandmasters of this universe. Right. Yeah, the grandmasters. And that's only because we could talk and sing. Because animals still have their part to play. Trees still have its part to play. Insects, the weather, all those things still have their part to play in the sustenance of this planet. And that's the whole point of it, is to keep the planet going, keep the life on the planet going, etc., etc., etc. What took me out of the psychosis, like I said a little while ago, a friend of mine talked to my voices, well, shout at my voices, and it shocked me and make me feel like, alright, if a completely normal person could do something crazy for me, or do something out of the character to make me feel comfortable, then I need to do things to make people feel comfortable around me. Your name is Petra and Pet is your home name. Well, they just call me Petra. That's correct them all the time. But since I was small, my mother and my mother's whole side of her family just call me Petra, and my father and his whole side of the family just call me Pet. So I always liked the Pet more than the Petra, because Petra, I find it like what? Pet nice and light and quick, like Pet. Yeah. The Petra is annoying. But my name is Perpetua. Perpetua is my name. That does sound like music to me. Every time somebody call me Perpetua, I just be like, oh my god. Hi. Oh gee. One of my dogs on the live tonight. What's he saying? And I'm going and calling him. Yeah, I spent 3 months in rehab. I seen somebody here saying that their son in rehab. I spent 3 months in rehab, and that's how they got to introduce my body to the tablets, the medication for bipolar disorder. Now, after the 3 months, I had put on 70 pounds. I lost my period. I wasn't able to defecate. And I got a womb infection. All because of the medication. So immediately after that 3 months, I came off of that medication. Yeah. And what the doctor said is that that's normal for a period to disappear. Like, this is just female. For a period to disappear. And I was like, what? And for you to get womb infections. I was like, what? And you can't have children. It's like, what? So I came off of that medication. And then I allowed myself to basically slip more further and further into a dark place, just because I didn't want to be 200 pounds with no period and a womb infection and healthy mentally. I didn't want to be physically trash and mentally fit. Yeah, this guy who said he in the ambulance service, I know you would have seen a lot of people, but I want to say something about the ambulance service, because twice, all they pass, all they place with me. Once inside of that same house, one of the ambulance attendants asked me to see my breasts. I was like, no. He was like, okay, well, you're fine. It's like, okay. And then another time when I was in the back of the van, our attendant started to pull up my clothes, lift up my clothes, take out his member, and it was like dripping and leaking in front of me. So all this sick no fuck, all the ambulance attendants, well, you friend them. Might be you, but you friend them. Sick no fuck. Relationship. I have a relationship with these people. I don't have a friendship with these people. I say they're my friends in the video because the number's still on my phone. They can call me if they want. I can call them if I want. It might be a little bit awkward after the past few days and the past few videos that I put up, but I'm pretty sure I could call them if I want. Especially if I need like somebody in their field that they're working in or something to be done in that field. I could give them a call. I don't hold grudges. I got mad for like a split second, and I changed my approach to being around this person. So I tell myself, alright, there's not somebody that I could be vulnerable around. There's not somebody that I could have sex with on the regular, which is what I was doing. So I need to stop that. There's not somebody that I could trust with my business because, well, I just can't. And yeah, but it's a very good person in their field that they specialize in, and if I ever need somebody in that field that they specialize in, I know exactly who to call. And I'm going to say the field because it'll make it easier and easier for people to guess exactly who did this. No, confronting people is not part of my healing journey. People does always get back what they give out, always. And if I confront a bunch of people, I will get back confrontation, and I cannot take long talk and confrontation. So I avoid giving long talk and confrontation. I don't know if Trinidad has any places for people who've been SA'd because I never reported being SA'd. I never talked about it to anyone. And the one time that I went to the police station and said that I was raped, and they told me that I looked like nothing was wrong with me, I was like, alright, nope, never me again. I'm not talking about this. I'm not doing it. Yeah, what? If I was ever unable to talk, yes. It had points in time where, you know how you go through sleep paralysis and you feel like your whole body shut down, your mouth closed, and you can't open your mouth, but your eyes still rolling around in your head, your thoughts still bouncing around in your head. That's exactly what happened, and I would be sitting down and getting paralysis, and I can't talk, and I can't move my hand for like about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and then I'll be able to move. And usually I'll be with my friends when this happens, so all of we will start to laugh like, what the fuck, dog? Like, one now go on with me there? Like, nah, alright, scene. Good night, everybody that's saying good night. Right now, my nephew having a full-blown episode. If your nephew's having a full-blown episode, my advice to you is get something to eat. Put on something entertaining and prepare to have a very long night. If you're willing to ride it out with him. If you're not willing to ride it out with him or he being violent, then you'll have no choice but to call services, right? Thank you so much for all the well wishes and all the motivation. Yeah, somebody here said that it prepared me for something. I'm real grateful for what happened. It bring me down like a million freaking notches because of what I was doing, and because of the status that I held, and the fact that I wasn't meddling with like the regular crowd, and I wasn't going party. Yeah, if I go in a party, I go in backstage and not really liming with people and that kind of thing. Going through Psychosis knocked my ego down so far. Because I was liming with everybody and everybody was real vibes. Real vibes. The kind of places I went and the kind of people I meet. One day, one of my friends told me, you know, it has some real hard weed in Beetham. And I was like, serious? Where in Beetham? And he was like, well, you had to go by Rasta City. And I was like, alright, vibes. I jump in a maxi, went Beetham, walk into Rasta City, ask for the weed man, buy the weed, sit down, smoke weed, lime whole night with these people, then travel back home during Psychosis. So that's something I don't ever do before. And I just wanted to say that, you know, it bring me down to a certain level, and I real grateful for what happened to me, despite what. I real grateful, because I needed that. Everybody needs something to bring them down to like a human being, one-to-one level, and that was it for me. I used to talk about girls who want man to get them money and thing. I used to talk about them like these hoes. And now I am like, hello, no, you are not pretty and soft and kind and caring, and you can't cook. So you need to have money. So yeah, a lot of things started to become evident to me. Yes, I used to feel like I was being spied on. One time I tell my daughter, I was like, stop videotaping me. I started screaming at her now, stop videotaping me. And it was just her beautiful brown little shiny eyes watching me in disbelief. And I was like, stop videotaping me. I thought she had a chip in her brain where she could relay information to the whoever was in charge of the world, and they were spying on what I was doing. No, I am not working. Thank you for your encouragement. I'm not from Jamaica, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I was born in Trinidad and my parents are from St. Vincent. I don't have a Trinidad passport, I have a Vincentian passport. I have to get back my Trinidad passport. So I'm a dual citizen. Okay, well, that's it. That's all the questions that I'm seeing. And I'm not seeing any new questions coming up. If I ever reported the men, no. I never reported anybody. The one time that I went into the police station, I didn't know who the person was. So I couldn't make a report. I didn't know their license number, nothing like that. So I couldn't make a report. And the person who was my friend, I didn't make a report because I was like, how stupid would I sound saying the person that I've been jamming whole week this week drugged me at the beginning of the week, and that's why I jammed them, and now I want them arrested for drugging me in the first place. I just thought I would have sung real stupid. So that's why I didn't take. Oh gosh, no. And not somebody say show us him, so when we see him we can hit him some big stone. I'll tell all of his business because this live up here, well, I don't know if nobody go and record my live, right? But he got arrested for rape. Oh, I keep talking. He got arrested for assault about a year after he did this to me, because he tried to go wrong somebody else during an incident that they had. So he went through the being arrested and the embarrassment for it, and I take a little resolve in that, and I was like, ugh, you know, like, it just make noise. Nothing didn't happen. It just make noise. I don't want to just make noise. If I vex with you and I want something to happen to you, I want something to happen to you. I don't want to make noise. And I'm not that vexed. I'm not vexed enough to make something happen. No, I'm not still in contact with him. If I remember his face, whose face? The second guy? The guy in the story from today? I don't remember much about him. I remember the smell of the vehicle, and I know he was bald head. I don't remember much about him. It was in the night too. It was like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It was Christmas morning. Lakita said her mind ran on me often. Oh. Well, yeah, a lot of people knew I was going off because I used to post stuff that was weird, and I mean, it was out of character for me because I never used to post unless it have some kind of meaning, and I was always with the quotes, quotezilla. I stopped all of that. No, I wasn't the first and I wasn't the last. That he did that too. I don't know how long I have been on this live, but I'm not seeing any new questions. How do you differentiate between psychosis and a real event? Okay. Ask somebody. Please. Take your time. Swallow your pride. I know you's God. And you know everything that's going on. But if you're psychotic and you're not sure what's happening, if it's really not sure if the person that you just see run past is actually somebody who run past, ask somebody. Ask somebody who you could touch, who's actually standing there. So, what day is today? Or do you understand what I'm talking about? Or did you see that? Or did you hear that? Okay? As long as this person not playing the fool with you, and I promise you, some people just play the fool with you. As long as this person not playing the fool with you and they're taking you serious, they will be able to tell you whether or not you having a psychotic episode or what's really happening is happening. Don't be afraid to ask. I swear. Well, if you just ask, it will resolve real plenty of the problems. How do I get in contact with you? You can message me, and according to where the conversation go on my game or WhatsApp number, and we could stay in contact like that. Yeah, ask someone you trust. Oh, thank you, Anna. She said I am full of love, and I believe that. I truly believe that. I just try to keep my cup full of love. I just try my best to that. She don't remember. Okay, somebody said that her sister went through the same thing, but she doesn't remember anything. I used to have blackouts too. It have some things that I don't remember. I remember a lot of it, but it have some days that I don't remember. Like my best friend's birthday. I remember it being 2 days before her birthday, and then the next morning she was upset with me because I missed her birthday. And I completely missed 2 days. I didn't know what happened in them 2 days. I know I eat, I know I smoke, I know I sleep, I know I get up. But I don't remember anything about those 2 days. But you just remember what you forget too. So, yeah, you just remember what you forget too. So, I don't know what went on with your sister there. I'm real sorry that happened to her. And she can't remember. If she really can't remember, I think I'm sorry about that, because it had to go through something and not learn nothing at all from it, so you don't remember nothing, so you didn't learn anything, that hard. I'm sorry she went through that. What do I want for my future? When I was 24 years old, I set my future, like my vision board, and I wanted to be the Trinidad version of Oprah since I was 24. I would love to reach there. I have a lot of work to do again if I want to even start to climb that path again. But yeah, I don't want to say I gave up on my dream, because my dream's still there. Even if I start to work tomorrow in a grocery store, my dream's still there. I'll still use the money that I get in order to fund my dream. Yeah, so where do I see myself in the future? Grey hair, big bottom, couch, television set, interesting people to interview, topics galore. Grey hair, heavy on the grey hair, because I want long grey ras. That's why I used to bleach my hair a long time, because I wanted long grey ras. Depression. So, depression are we talking about is where sometimes you just find yourself for days unable to move and unable to get up. That's the kind of depression we're talking about, or we're talking about the kind of depression where you're sad? Because I never experienced the sadness in depression. I was never like, there was a day I wanted to kill myself, but I was happy about it because I thought that celestial beings had come to take me, and the only way they would be able to take me was through killing myself. What's Squeezy Rankin doing on my playlist? Alright? Barang. Anyway, yeah, but back to Tommy Lee. Anyway, yeah. No, Paul Ollivierre is not my father. My father is Orbiton Ollivierre. His name is Ralph Raphael Revenal Orbiton Ollivierre. That is his whole name. His mother was clearly bored. If any bosses or co-workers reach out to me, I have a very close relationship with my old professor from Star Broadcasting, and like I'm able to talk to him about things in the industry and that kind of stuff that bother me, or me trying to get back in and that type of stuff, and he'll be able to link me with things if it's possible, and if people regain a trust in me and decide that, you know, they want to actually work with me. So no bosses have reached out to me, but I still just talk to a lot of people who are bosses in their own rights, and if an opportunity comes and I'm able to take the opportunity, I right here, open, ready, and willing. Yeah, you're able to tell when an episode is coming on, because first of all, you'll start to think twice. Like, when I say think twice, not like normal think twice, you'll start to think in a way where you're hearing what you're thinking. Then you'll start to be happy or excited, like very excited. Then the voices that are whispers turn into loud voices in your head. So yeah, you know when a episode coming on, and it's take a few days during the prodrome phase of an episode, right before you actually going to escalate. It has come on progressively. Somebody said I could do a podcast. That's something to look into. Are you an artist? I have some music out. I'm not an artist. I never perform anywhere as an artist. The only time I ever hold a mic on a stage. I was a host, a television host, and well, before I was on a television host, I was a radio host. So yeah, radio announcer. So yeah, I'm not an artist. Depression, the way you don't feel to do anything. That's the exact kind of depression that I had, where you can't move and you can't function, you're not feeling to bathe, you're not feeling to brush your teeth. Yeah, that's the type of depression I had, and I'll make a video about it, or I'll talk about it next time I go live. But I had to come off the live now because my phone battery is going to die. I didn't charge it before I came on the live. So thank you very much for all your questions, and next time I come on, I will be sure to answer as many questions as I possibly can. All a good night. Good night, good night, good night. Enjoy the night. Stay healthy. I love you.